Hey everybody, it's Gussy. How are you? Uh, it is a wonderful February 1st. It is Imbolc, and as you know, I've been kind of talking about this night for a while. I love this particular holiday because to me it represents hope and renewal and the if you'll forgive me for saying it this way, the pregnant potential that lies within all of us at this time of year. It's the little seedlings coming out of the ground. It is the fact that we know that green is just around the corner again, even though we're kind of sitting on the precipice of this huge winter storm here, at least affecting parts of the United States. Um, but although in the past, Grimm and I and other members of our coven have um, spent this night in ritual and making, bridge crosses and all sorts of different um ways of honoring this particular day, we're not doing that this year. This year, I'm spending it with you. And I'm doing a 3 card draw for our Tarot Tuesday here on the Purple Door. And the intention behind it is, as I've mentioned, what are the opportunities that are presenting themselves to us? What is it that we need to look inside to watch, grow, and develop? What is it that the universe is guiding us toward as we approach this time of growth, renewal, rebirth? And I'm excited about it. So I have our 3 cards selected here, and I don't know what they are yet. I have not turned them over. I know some of you have picked 1 card, some of you have picked 2 cards, some of you have picked all 3. So let's just set the space and see what the cards have to say. I welcome in our own divine connection to the Mother, Father, God, Goddess energy. Connect with our ancestors, spirit guides, past lives, plant, animal, and crystal allies. My own spirit team that guides me from beyond. Don't want to leave those fellows out. I ask for guidance and clarity. I ask that the words that I say be the words that need to be heard, and may they be heard by those that need hear them. At this time, when the earth is beginning to wake up in various ways, some parts of the country there are little green, daffodils or crocus that are just beginning to peek out. It's not where I live right now. We're expecting a big snowstorm. But even so, the snow, the thicker it is, the heavier the carpet, the more the flowers and green grass appreciate that in the spring as it melts slowly. Maybe we can find our own renewal. And we will. And so it is. Well, come on. Okay, card number 1. 7 of Swords reversed. The first thing I want to tell you is that if you are considering any kind of magical workings on your own, if you have a spell in mind, or you're thinking of a binding or some kind of magic that you've been kind of sitting on for a while, something that you really should employ a little bit of magical oomph to it, that you've not necessarily been focused on correctly, whether that is um, whether that is I don't know, I keep hearing somebody wants to make like a sour jar. There's been some conflict, and you don't really like resorting to magic for this sort of thing. But this kind of conflict, it's like you need to kind of draw the line in the sand and make your boundary known. It's almost like your boundary isn't quite clear enough. The people or persons that you are trying to negotiate with just aren't understanding. They're not quite at your level yet. So the words that you say, although they might nod and seem to understand, they're just not getting it. If you choose to do some magical workings, the best time for you is the time of the new moon, which is coming up shortly. Uh, that will be a really, really potent time for you. There have been a lot of um, obstacles in your way, almost like a gateway that's sort of keeping you out, like you're on the outside looking in. But those are starting to fall by the wayside. They're not cleared out of the way yet, but they are starting to fall. So you may find, especially as we come out of this Mercury retrograde that we've been in for a while, you may find that the flow of your decisions will improve and get a little easier to understand and to navigate yourself. You should be working with the element of fire right now. You know, I love that it's Imbolc, and the fire in the belly concept is really kind of important because that's where we get ourselves motivated to like do what we need to do. That fire in the belly potential that we all share. This is a good time for you to step out into those moments where you might have been shying away from making a decision or moving forward. Maybe you've been waiting for Mercury to be out of retrograde in the first place because we all know how things go south when we try to do it during Mercury retrograde. But I feel that this is a wonderful time for you um, to kind of pinpoint what it is that you want to do and move forward. Using the element of fire, not only the fire in your belly, but if you are okay, I'm guided to tell you that it would be wonderful if you would find a candle on your altar or your space that's sacred to you and light that candle in succession for 7 nights in a row. Now, I often, when I give readings to people, you know, one on one, I'll often give homework. I don't usually give homework when I do a tarot reading like this for a number of people, but I'm guided to tell you 7 nights in a row. And when you start, it could be tonight, it could be on the night of the dark moon, it could be uh, you know, some specific day next month that you choose. But when you choose to start your 7 day observance, make sure that you can do 7 nights in a row. Don't do 2 nights here and skip a night and 3 nights there and skip a night. 7 nights in a row of dedicated focus time. It doesn't have to be a great deal of, um, you know, like meditation music, and don't feel like you failed if nothing happens. Light the candle. Invite your ancestors in and around you to help guide you where it is that you need to go. And trust that these steps are not just given in vain. There's a reason. And if you listen and pay attention or take notes while you meditate, or after you meditate, you will find whatever that reason is. I think, even though I haven't selected a card for this, I think I might do this myself. And so I encourage you to do 7 nights of lighting a candle, calling in your ancestors, and letting them just sit with you for a while and guide you toward that next step. That was just card number one. That was a lot of information. I hope you got that. Card number two. 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, this card speaks volumes about having your eye on the prize. Now, this would be involving manifesting your dreams, your goals, your desires, It is a little bit about what we talked about with the first card, but this one, it's like you already know what you want. You just need to set your sights and go for it. Allow the arrow to go in the direction that you shoot, because if whichever way you shoot, you will be successful, but you got to trust yourself. You got to believe in yourself, and you have to know that it's possible. Sometimes what you end up doing, and I'm saying this because I do it too, sometimes what we do is we say, oh, yes, I really want to manifest this goal, this outcome for myself. And then we kind of put some things in place, and then we stop giving it the magic and the action that it needs. It's almost like we say, "Oh, here's the goal, and here, universe, this is what I want." And there's nothing that we do beyond that asking. Remember, magic is intention and action. So remember how the folks that chose card number 1 are going to be lighting their candle for 7 nights in a row? You could also do something like that by focusing on the manifestation that you want. What is your outcome? This is witchcraft at its finest. You have the ability. Also, fire is important for you right now, too. I know sometimes, you might say, oh, I'm a water sign or I'm a fire sign or whatnot. A lot of us are a little bit out of balance right now. A lot of us are out of balance. And that's okay. We can bring it back into balance, but we need to honor and address the elements as they come into our purveyance. So I'm hearing for card number 2, people, the element of fire is extremely important. However you want to do that. If you want to include a candle on your altar, if you want to join card number 1, people, and light your candle for 7 days in a row, 7 nights in a row. The significance of 7. 7 is a very powerful number. It's a number, for those of you that know numerology, it's a number of um, creativity. It's a number of the magician. It's a number of healers. And there's a lot of potent energy behind that number. So 7 is something good to stick with. I also want to point out, besides the element of fire, that if you were going to employ a color, the color blue is significant for you. So at least right now during this time frame, blue and fire would be something great to work with on your altar. Manifest, manifest. Okay, card number 3. All 3 of these have been reversed. This is 9 of Wands reversed. So we had 7 of Swords, 8 of Wands, and now 9 of Wands. It should not come as a surprise to you that the element of fire is also important to you right now. So all of us should be working with that element, however you see fit. I use candles frequently. That's pretty much the way that I work with the fire element. This card speaks to the fact that there's something holding you back. There's something that you are protecting, like, I'm trying to hear the words here, like something that's so vitally important to you that you have it protected. Now, I don't know if this is a special person in your life or something about you, some emotional trigger that you keep hidden that you just haven't dealt with. We call that shadow work. But anyways, there's a part of you that is like holding defense against this progress in your life. So I encourage you to take a step back and figure out what it is that you're doing to kind of get in your own way. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is because you've been conditioned your whole life to protect this part, to protect this element, if you will, of your life. But it is time to allow it to start to heal and you will bring in your own power as you do. I know it's difficult to step into those feelings. I know it's hard when you're feeling, I know some people call, spoons. Psychiatrists will say or teach you about having not enough spoons for the day, or you know, you just don't have enough to get through the day. Sometimes we wake up and we have all kinds of energy and we can give away all kinds of our energy to people who need it. And other days we just don't have enough spoons to go around, do we? Some days we only have 3 spoons. And those days that you only have 3 spoons, that's okay. Find a day when you have enough spoons in your heart, in your soul, in your mind to be able to deal with whatever this concept is out there that's keeping you from moving forward. It's okay to be defensive about certain things. It's okay to keep things close to your heart so that you don't get hurt further. But when you do, there's always a price to pay. And unfortunately, a lot of times that price to pay is we don't live a fully, completely loving life. I guess I didn't say that really well, but I hope you get what I mean. What is it that you are guarding? Again, the element of fire is important here. So if you also want to join us on this 7-day vigil, it doesn't matter when you start, but I would, if I were you, ask exactly what it is that you need help opening, whatever shadow box it is that you need help opening. I would ask the universe for guidance in that direction. If you don't know what it is, and some of you do, some of us, we know exactly what our triggers and traumas are. We know exactly what we're guarding ourselves against, but some of us don't. And if you don't know, I would use those 7 days to try to make that clear. If you do know, I would use those 7 days to help you clear it. Get to know yourself. Don't be afraid to put down your weapon and step aside so that you can face this. This is important, and you can do it. I know you can do it. I hope that this message, whoever listened tonight, I hope the message was heard clearly, and I hope that you received some information from me that you didn't have before. I hope that as we all move forward, using the element of fire, as that was clearly in the cards, that we can burn away any of the cloud and fog that we have, and we can start anew, like a phoenix from the flames. This is a time of renewal and rebirth. Allow yourself to experience that. If you need more guidance, I'm always available. Just reach out to me on the Purple Door or Gussy Dup on Facebook. And I hope that you all have a very magical night.